Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a little review on the 2018 Alfa Romeo Stelvio. So we picked this up a couple days ago from the Alfa dealer down in Omaha, and we're just going to do a little walk around for you, and then we'll go on a driving review and give you my opinion on whether you should be looking at a high mileage Stelvio. So stick with us. All right guys, here it is. So if you didn't see the last video, this is a 2018 and it is the TI Sport model. So it does have the all-wheel drive 2.0 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, putting out 280 horsepower, 306 foot-pounds of torque. They call this still Silverstone gray for the color, guys. To me it's just silver, so I don't know where they're getting the gray from, but I really dig the color, and it's pretty darn close to matching with the silver rims. So this has a few different options on there, and the 20-inch wheel package was one of them. Then it also does have the painted red calipers there, which is another option that you could customize that color. I think there's a couple different color options that you could do. Red, yellow, maybe. I think black for sure was a color. We'll show you around the interior here. The interior on this thing, red, but it's very nice materials. It's held up well in the 7 years, so you can see very nice leather still. And this is the sport design that you get, the pleats here. And show you the storage back here. It's a small crossover SUV, guys, so it's not going to be huge, but it's got a decent amount of space. You can see there. And there's some storage under here just a little bit. No spare tire on these things. They have a kit with the fix-a-flat air compressor stuff there. And then you do have the fold down, so you can pull that from back here and fold the seats down, which is nice, so you don't have to go back to the... And as you can see where we have the seats at right now, for a tall 6'2" guy, you can't even get them folded down, so I'm gonna have to move the seats up a little bit. All right guys, so the driver's area is very nice and sporty. I love the steering wheel, very nice steering wheel. Has the paddle shifts, nice aluminum ones, big ones actually, that are column mounted, which is a little different compared to a lot of sports cars these days where they're on the steering wheel. But this one does come with the memory seats, has the power folding mirrors, Harman Kardon stereo system, and it's just in really good shape. I mean, I just can't believe how well the interior's held up for 125,000 miles, guys. Very impressed with the fit and finish on this Alfa. We'll just give you a little under the hood look here, guys, so you know what we're working with. There's the first 4-cylinder, the turbo's over on this side there. But yeah, for the 125,000 miles, guys, this thing runs really well. And I couldn't see any fluid leaks when I looked at it, so I think we're good on that front. We'll just go give you a quick rev here so you can hear what the exhaust sounds like. Alright guys, this thing had a sticker price of $52,000 here 7 years ago now. I actually was able to pick this up for $12,000 even, and then add on tax, title, license on top of that. But if you didn't see my last video, I'll have it linked down below. You can see all the pickup and delivery of this vehicle with more details on the pricing there. But I have a window sticker here. I'll have it up on the screen here for you, and I'll just go over some of the stuff that this has. So it is a base price of $44,000. Then it has the 2.0 turbocharged engine, 8-speed automatic. So it has the optional equipment is the Silverstone gray metallic. So that was actually a $600 paint option. I think it looks good, especially with the red interior. Then the TI Sport all-wheel drive package, $2,500. That one is pretty nice. It has quite a bit of stuff in there, if you can see that. Has the leather seat, sport leather seats, and then the 20-inch wheels, of course. Painted calipers. Then you get like the black window trim. A lot of the aluminum interior accents. A lot of stuff going on in that package. So sport tune suspension, and I would agree with that. It does feel very sporty on the road. It's not a harsh ride, just a nice sporty feel. Yeah, and lots of other stuff on that package. Then it has the driver assist package as well, so adaptive cruise control and some of the safety stuff there. It does have the navigation on there for $900. Harman Kardon premium stereo. It does sound very good, so I do appreciate that upgraded stereo package. So yeah, then your grand total $52,000 there, guys. So it is kind of in line with the luxury market of crossover SUVs. So your Audis and Mercedes, BMW, even the Porsche Macan, kind of that size of SUV. So, all right, guys, let's take this thing for a drive. All right, guys, out here on the road to give you a little drive review of this Stelvio. So for 125,000 miles on the clock on this thing, the suspension is pretty tight still. The interior cabin noise is pretty minimal. It rides really well, guys. So your results may vary, obviously, depending on how well the car was cared for and where it was driven, but this one's holding up very well so far. So as far as all the niceties and luxuries, this car has pretty much all of them that you really need. It's got the heated seats, heated steering wheel, memory seats, auto climate control. So you're definitely riding in comfort in this vehicle for sure. And most of even the base model comes with the heated seats. So I'm not sure on the memory seats if that comes on the base model, but it does with the TI Sport package that we got. The infotainment is kind of lacking. It is pretty dated. No touch screen on this thing. You have to use the dial down here for all of your menu functions. So I'm not too fond of that, but yeah, you get used to it. So is 280 horsepower enough for this as a daily compact crossover? I think it is. It does have all-wheel drive, but right around the 4,000 RPM range is really when you feel the boost hit, where the turbo lag starts to catch up and you can feel that turbo kick in. So it seems to take it a little bit of the RPM to get up there in the boost, but once you're up there, you can feel it kick a little bit. You can feel that torque. Surprisingly, though, this has a really low red line. It's like 5,500 RPM. So very low RPM for red line, but I suppose that's to keep the engine from exploding itself. So this car does have the auto stop start when you come to a complete stop, where it tries to shut the engine off for fuel economy. So one thing to note, if you keep it in the D, which is for dynamic, that stays when you shut the vehicle off. Some cars, it'll reset and you have to go back to the sport mode or dynamic, but this one stays. So every time you start up, if you want it to be in dynamic, then the auto start stop will not shut you down. So I've been pretty much keeping mine in dynamic all the time. If you go to the N, you can tell it's definitely down on power, which is normal or natural. And then the A is supposed to be for economy, and it's just a dog in that mode. So I can't imagine driving around in A, but D for me all the time. All right, guys, we're gonna put it over into sport mode for shifting here. We're gonna use the paddles here for a bit. Just run out of RPMs too quick. Definitely go through all 8 of those gears pretty quickly. Get it out on some back roads here and see how that suspension really handles. So it does have that sport suspension. Sport tune suspension is what they call it. Some of them actually have an adaptive suspension option. This one does not have that. One thing I think it could be better in is the sound department. The exhaust is pretty quiet. For trying to be a little bit of a performance luxury SUV, maybe having a exhaust valve option to waken it up a little bit when you want to go for a little ride and have some sound a little louder. Definitely not a dual clutch, but it's one of the fastest shifting regular torque converter automatics that I've ever driven. So I do have to give it props for the quick shifts with the torque converter. Got some good corners coming up here, guys. Take it down into 4th gear here. How she handles this one. Man, it seemed pretty planted. It didn't seem like a lot of body roll there. Man, guys, this thing is smooth. I'm not going to say how fast I'm going right now, but let's just say it is a very smooth ride right now. And these roads on this back roads that I'm on right now are very bumpy, to say the least. Anybody who's test driving these things needs to have it on a back road with some good twisties. I'm telling you. I'm impressed, guys. I am impressed. So the steering wheel is awesome on this, guys. Gauge cluster, I like the layout of that. Nice RPM gauge there and the speedo gauge, and then you can have the digital speedo right in the middle, which is nice to have. The only thing I'm gonna zonk on any other car, my Porsche, Mustang, any of my sports cars, I would have said, yes, these paddles are amazing. Giant aluminum shift paddles that make cool noises when you shift. But on this vehicle, it blocks the windshield washer switch and then the turn signals. So you're like kind of like fighting around the shift paddles to get to the turn signals and the wiper switch. So I find that slightly annoying. So on a day-to-day thing for an SUV that's not going to be driven hard and paddles used very often, it's kind of annoying. So let me know what you guys think. If you've test driven one, what you think of the paddles. I think it would be a must-have for sure on the Quadrifoglio version of this, but on the base model I think they could have gone a little smaller on the shift paddles. So guys, my thoughts on this high mileage 7-year-old Stelvio. I can say that this thing has held up well for that many miles. The fit and finish, everything is still very solid on the interior. The exterior fit and finish on this, I did not see a lot of panel gaps or anything like that. I know some people were complaining about that when these first came out, but everything looked very good from my eyes at least. So I'm thinking if you're in the market and the Stelvio is kind of on your list, but you've been kind of worried about like dealer network and it being an Alfa Romeo, a little bit lesser known brand, at least in the United States, I think you just need to do your homework. Find one that's had a good maintenance history and a good Carfax history. And then if you do not have an Alfa Romeo dealer close by within 100 miles or so, mine's about 100 miles from me, but my son is going off to college in Iowa City, and there is not a dealer for 250 miles. So I actually did some digging to find out what kind of independent repair shops are close by for him, and I found one that works on a lot of foreign and European cars, and they can service them and fix most of the things that could go wrong with these, no problem. So I would say just find a good independent shop that's close by that can work on them, and then that'll give you a peace of mind on these. So, I mean, it doesn't have to necessarily be an Alfa Romeo shop, because this high of a mileage car, you're not going to be under warranty anymore. So it makes it a little better where you don't have to go straight to the dealer for warranty work. Crazy that this thing is a crossover SUV, guys. If I didn't know what it looked like on the outside, I would think it's a sports car, honestly. But I guess that goes to show you how good the Giulia really is, because that's basically what this is. Giulia underneath with a bigger body. Alright guys, well I think that's going to do it for this first drive review of my 2018 Alfa Romeo Stelvio. If you guys have any questions for me, leave them down in the comments. But overall guys, I think as long as you have a good independent repair shop where you can get things worked on, and it's had a good maintenance history, I wouldn't be afraid to look at a high mileage Stelvio. Thanks again for tuning in, guys. Have a good one.